Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tamriel. Welcome to Fantasy XIV. In today's video, we're gonna talk about top 5 beginner classes to start in Fantasy XIV. This video is meant to introduce 5 beginner classes for anybody who is interested in starting in Fantasy XIV. The classes are ranged as tank, healer, melee DPS, range DPS, and support. Please do keep in mind that no matter what class you start with, whether they be classes in this particular list or not, every class in Fantasy XIV is easy to learn early on and hard to master at late game. I can assure you that the classes will get more and more complex as you keep leveling further and further to max level in the game, and use the aspect of leveling your class as a way to learn more about the mechanics and the rotation that goes with your class. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and start off with the tank class. For a tank class, I chose Gladiator. Gladiator wields a sword and a shield. Gladiators have the ability to block, which makes mitigating damage from enemies and or bosses way easier. They have a lot of defensive cooldowns and a lot of protective cooldowns that can assist and protect their allies. While their damage may be low in the beginning, they have some of the best mitigation out there in Fantasy XIV's early level content. They're a very easy and fun tank to learn how to play, and I've personally been enjoying leveling one myself. Gladiators can eventually become Paladin and learn other abilities such as the Oaths. Paladin get 2 Oaths in order to maximize their offensive and or defensive abilities. It is a great tanking class to learn how to play in the very beginning, and I strongly recommend playing a Gladiator if you are interested. Every Gladiator starts in the city of Ul'dah. The Gladiator's Guild can be found conveniently near the Gladiator's Coliseum in Ul'dah Steppes of Thal. Simply talk to the counter if you want to learn how to be a Gladiator. For a healing class, I strongly recommend the Conjurer. It is a straightforward healing class that uses wind and earth magic in order to do damage on the side. As a healer, you will need to learn how to do proper healing and offensive in order to benefit and help out your party or raid team. Aside from healing, healers in Fantasy XIV are often required to do some minor damage in order to help out take down the boss. There are some abilities and stance dancing that the Conjurer can use in order to improve its damage for a limited time. Using the Cleric stance, the Conjurer can output more damage for a limited time whenever there is no necessary need for healing at the moment. Healers are very important in Final Fantasy parties and raids, and there's nothing more important than learning how to properly heal. Conjurers can eventually evolve into White Mages, which improves their healing abilities significantly and allows them a more complex and intricate way to improve their healing capabilities for the party or the raid. While a Conjurer may be the only starting healing class in the game, there are multiple healing jobs in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm really enjoying Conjuring because it doesn't come with a lot of mechanics to remember. It is a great class for beginning players out there. Conjure Guild can be found in Gridania, inside of a hollowed out tree of Old Gridania. Simply walk through the doors, enter the tree, and you should be able to see the guild counter right then and there. For the melee DPS, I recommend Pugilist. Aside from being one of the unique DPS out there that does blunt damage with its kicks and punches, it is a great beginner class for anybody who is interested in making a melee character. The class eases the player into the role of a melee DPS, teaching the importance of rotation and positioning. Positioning is a very important part of playing a Pugilist later down the line, and the class overall is very fun and entertaining to play. It is a very engaging class that keeps the player on their toes and lets him build up the momentum in order to lower global cooldown. The Pugilist eventually evolves into the Monk, teaching the player about the fist stances and more complex mechanics regarding the positioning of the Pugilist class. The Pugilist can be learned over in Ul'dah Steppes of Thal, right across the Hall of Flames. For range DPS class, I want to add somebody on a magical side, that being a Thaumaturge. Thaumaturges use the elements of fire, ice, and lightning in order to become the ultimate power cannon of the group. Their ability and strength in highly explosive single target and AoE spells makes them very valuable in a raid or party. Being one of the strongest DPS in the game, Thaumaturges are great for anybody who wants to play as a destructive magical caster class. The class also teaches the player the complexity behind the game and playing as a DPS caster class. Thaumaturge eventually evolves into a Black Mage and becomes an even more destructive force than ever before. Black mages often regarded as power cannons and glass cannons of the party. They become extremely invaluable and sometimes an immovable force of power, to the point where those sometimes, not often, will stand in boss mechanics in order to cast off the beautiful Fire 4. What brave heroes they are. Thaumaturge class can be learned over in Ul'dah, in the southern end of Stepstone Nald. Their guild headquarters is located in a giant, dark, magical crucible, which in its own way is very sinister and very fitting for thaumaturges. And last but not least, and one of my favorite classes to begin the game with, is Archer. Archer is seen as primarily a ranged DPS class, but it eventually evolves into a Bard, which becomes a ranged support class. Bards are very important in Final Fantasy XIV, especially in raid and party situations, because they teach the player about the importance of having somebody maintain Bard songs in order to benefit the party or detriment a foe. While in the early stages, Archer doesn't feel much like a support class. It is still a great beginner class to play out there, especially if players really like the class early on. They can eventually become bards, learn the mechanics behind support abilities, and learn to improve the support capabilities by providing mana regeneration, TP regeneration, or boss nerf in a raid or party. Archers can be taught and learned in Gridania, on the eastern side of New Gridania. As a player, it is up to you to choose what class you want to start as. You can pick any of the 5 classes that are listed here, or choose another class that fits your playstyle perfectly, whether you prefer the swift and piercing combat of Lancer, the summoning capabilities of Arcanist, the stealthy assassinations of a Rogue, or the brawn or tenacity of a Marauder. When you eventually reach Heavensward content, you'll be able to pursue 3 more jobs out there: Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist. Dark Knight is a tank that specializes in dark arts, magical effects, magical abilities, and strong defense. It is a great swordsman-based class that uses dark arts and abilities in order to mitigate magical damage, as well as become the master of combat. You can pursue Astrologian with its healing capabilities and its really intricate card mechanics in order to boost the defenses and offenses of friendlies. Or if you're itching to pull the trigger, Machinist and its turrets may be the fix that you're looking for. There's so many classes and jobs to learn and play in Final Fantasy XIV. All of them are easy to learn, but hard to master. It will take time and skill in order to perfect the rotation and capabilities of playing as each and every single class. But even then, I hope this video helps you decide what you want to pursue in Final Fantasy XIV. And if a class does not fit your fancy, you can always re-roll around level 10 and try out other classes out there. You may need to reach level 15 before you can try out other classes that are away from your starting city. And whatever you pick, I hope you have fun playing your class. If this video helped you out or you enjoyed, please leave a like and let me know your feedback in comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tamriel. Like, subscribe, and as always, have a great day.